Shall we just go around the room? Start with Rajkumarji.
Yes, I'm past district governor of District 3201, which is in South India. I'm Rajkumar. I was governor in 2012-13 when the president was Sakuji Tanaka, Rotary International president from Japan, who had taken over from Kalyan Banerjee. And my directors were Shekhar Mehta, RI director was Shekhar Mehta, and we had Yash. I belong to Coimbatore, and my club is Coimbatore Metropolis. We are going to soon celebrate our 37th charter night next month. We are about 80 members strong, and we've been into many things. And we have two major global grant projects going in the field of health. One is for rehabilitation and treatment of burn victims. Hope After Fire. That's a very big program, project which we are doing. And so far we've done surgeries for about 670 patients, more than 1,000 surgeries, totally free of cost. And another one is free cancer care for those with, in gastro and other internal organs. That's being done in collaboration with another hospital. So these are the two major programs which our club is doing.
Can we go over to Rameshji?
Yeah. Thank you, Meranji. Because I'm past Governor Ramesh Agarwal. I was governor in 14-15 when Gary Hewang was the president, national president. I belongs to northern part of India. If you have heard Jaipur, famous for Jaipur food and Hawa Mahal and Pink City. These are the major terms world over known for Jaipur. And my district number is 3054, having 180 clubs till now. In the next month, we are going to be bifurcated. And so far programs are concerned, our district is belong to some health products, hospitals and education. And of course, now they are trying to pitch in some environment work. Still it is in room stage, but we are trying to pitch in a good shape. Good to see you here and welcome to this meeting. Thank you.
Dipankar.
Yeah, good evening, everybody, and good morning to the people in the other hemisphere. I am Dr. Dipankar Adya from RC Kashipur, District 3291. We are, rather in our club, we are doing certain environmental project on mangrove nursery, which is one of the major projects in our club for environment side. Apart from that, personally, I am involved in arsenic mitigation in safe drinking water to the rural area of India. Thank you.
PDG Philip. PDG Philip, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there, but
if you could introduce yourself.
I'm not getting. I'm PDG KC Philip from Cochin. We had launched plantation of some bamboo in the coastal areas to prevent sea erosion, and I'm trying to continue this with more of mangrove, because it seems to be suitable in a coastal area of Waipin. The club plus some bodies which are deeply involved in this operation are going ahead with the mangrove cultivation in a 30 kilometer strip area starting, which is already started. That is what I wanted to tell you, and more later.
Thank you. Arun, your face is covered by fish.
No, I have a little bit of problem with what is the background and the foreground. Anyway, I'm Arun. I guess that picture says something about what I do. More interested in marine ecology. I'm the incoming president for ESRAG South Asia. We are working a lot on coastal ecology and retrieval of ghost nests, and also coral reefs and artificial reef systems here off Chennai. Thank you.
Rotary and Jug. Jug, are you there?
No.
Nagjyoti? Can you introduce yourself, Nagjyoti?
Please unmute yourself.
Yes. Hello, myself Nagjyoti Bollapragada from RC Vishrambak, Sangli. I am MTech Environment Engineer. I am a ESRAG member. Thank you, Meenakshi, for invitation.
Thank you. We have, Chris, we have Ambari from ESRAG Southeast Asia. She is the co-chair in Southeast Asia. Ambari, if you could introduce yourself.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Yeah, I'm Ambari. Thank you so much, Meena, for inviting me. I am a member of Rotary Club of Marina City in Singapore and a co-chair of the Southeast Asian chapter, ESRAG chapter. Thank you.
Thank you. Have I got everyone? I think so. Did you start the meeting? I'm just waiting for Ajay.
Ajay was here earlier.
He's here. I think he's
Yeah,
just
I'm there. I'm there. I was just trying to log in from my computer. I can do that. So I'm here on the phone. So, well, my friends, the wow greetings to everybody. And the wow is because we are all together to work on something very important, that is the environment. And like I always say that my group, my team always believes very strongly in the word wow, in the sense with the wisdom that we have and we acquire and the opportunities we get and make, we will all be winners. And that's what we will do. But there's another connotation of wow, which I just got to know today. It's waste to wealth. So there is a club which is doing a project in one part of the country where they are collecting waste. And the money got from that, they are putting it towards children education. So there's a lot of things which can be done. Well, I'll come straight down to the point which I have, is what we in Friends of Environment, a group which was formed by RI President Shekhar Mehta from all India. Everybody is joined in. He's gotten a lot of PDGs working on this and other people who are experts in environment to work on improving the environment in India and probably making an effect across the world. So we have what is known as a STAR program, STAR, where S stands for solid waste management. And of course, it incorporates a lot of different aspects of solid waste management, including plastics and saying no to plastics and other solid waste which can be disposed and utilized or converted to more positive uses. Then we have T, which is tree planting, and tree planting is encompassing everything, which includes restoration of denuded forests, restoration of mangroves, maybe planting of more mangroves, because we have forgotten one thing, that these are our first line of defense. Trees are the defense for removing all the carbon from the atmosphere. Plus, when you talk about mangroves, they sequester a lot of carbon. Plus, what they do is that they protect our coastal areas from getting flooded. And a lot of vagaries of nature are protected because of this particular aspect of, hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, and of course, then we talk about A as awareness, because we strongly believe that awareness is one of the most important things about how we can go about protecting the environment. Because if people are aware how they're damaging the environment, or how they can protect it, or how they can reduce the damage, I am sure a lot of people would join us in making a difference. Herein, we do concentrate a lot on the youngsters, because that's where the awareness aspect is most important. But that's not the only thing. It could be just about anybody who needs to be aware of how to protect the environment. Then we come to the last aspect, which is R, which is renewable energy. And what I always tell every time when I speak, that the only thing which comes from out of this world, Earth, there's only one thing, and that is sunshine and solar energy. Everything else is here, converted here into different things and reconverted into different things. But solar energy is that energy which comes from outside. And if we can tap that energy and ensure that we don't use fossil fuels, and nuclear energy, of course, that's a very debatable aspect of energy requirements. Nuclear energy can be harmful, but it does help in reducing fossil fuels presently. But if we can harness the power of the sun, I think we would have done a lot of good work for the environment. So that's our STAR program. Just I've told you in brief, we have done a number of programs. We've had symposiums, seminars across the country, wherein huge numbers have attended. We have had attendance from 300 to 600 people coming and getting involved with the environment. Once they get information, many of them are doing projects across their cities and their clubs. And we do expect that we should be able to be prime movers and catalysts for much more amount of work to be done. That's in brief regarding, and many of our members are here today. I'm very happy that we are doing this program with Chris on pollination, because that is one of the most important aspects to reduce hunger across the world. And that hunger is not only for human beings, but even hunger for the animals who depend on vegetation which is there. And then, of course, the predators who depend on those animals who are using the natural resources which are there. So it's a very, very important aspect. And as it is said, that if all the bees in the world disappear, within 6 months, human beings will cease to exist. And that's very true, because the basis of all growth of vegetation and fruits and what you may have is all due to the fact that these small birds, bees, and other insects and animals make a full, wholesome environment, food chain and environment aspect. So friends, with this, I pass on to Chris. And Chris, thank you so much for being here to enlighten us. It's great that this is a great platform for us to connect with everybody across the world and have this information exchange, which will ensure environment biodiversity, which is very, very important. Biodiversity, if those equations change, it's going to be a lot of problem that the world is going to experience. So great and nice as all of you have joined. Thank you for joining. Of course, we always would like more and more people to join in for such programs. And we will take it forward to others to ensure that this information goes across. The clubs can do projects in this pollination program, which is there, and we will take this across. Chris, we will request you after you finish also to probably share the PPT with us. Maybe we can use it to encourage people to go ahead and do projects in this. Thank you so much for giving me time to speak. Thank you, Chief, for organizing the whole thing.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce Chris. It's going to be a very short introduction, Chris, because your work is going to tell everything about it.
Yep.
So Chris is a national park ranger in the United States, and he has been in the NPS for more than 4 decades. He has worked in parks in New York City. He has also worked in the rainforests of American Samoa with 3 tropical volcanic islands. And that's what he calls as his best assignment. Right now, he is in Minnesota. And the program Operation Pollination is a part of ESRAG, and it's part of the 7th area of focus. And right now, I think we have 45 ambassadors, Chris?
Yes.
And in October, when you put me as an ambassador, we were 10. So this is how it's exploding in number. So Chris has come to realize that the most important place to protect is your local surroundings and to help the little things that run the world, which are our pollinators. Over to you, Chris.
Thank you so much, Mina. It is such an honor for me to come to this meeting. I was listening to your introductions, and you have all done some incredible things. And for me to be able to speak to you today, to share with you this opportunity for all of you is, I guess I said, an honor. So Operation Pollination is a 7th area of focus environment framework. It's not a specific project, and that I must emphasize. It's not a specific project. It's a framework to hang our projects onto. What one does as a project is up to you, but you can all put it under the umbrella of Operation Pollination. So as Mina said, I am a park ranger with the United States National Park Service, and I have had the opportunity to travel the world. And the mention of ghost nets and coral reefs was mentioned. And one of my assignments, my best assignment, as Mina said, was in American Samoa in the South Pacific, where I managed a tropical rainforest and a coral reef national park. You walk into the water there and almost 700 species of tropical fish are right before your eyes. So I am a Rotarian. I began my Rotary journey when I was working at the Great Smoky Mountains of Tennessee and North Carolina in the southeastern part of the United States. I transferred to Yosemite National Park, this great granite fortress in the Sierra Nevada mountains of the state of California in the western part of the United States. Was actually the Rotary president during our centennial year in 2005. So fast forward, I'm now with the Twin Cities Eco Club. By the way, Mina, that's Steve Solbrecht's club. So I see Steve every other week. And I'm also a member of the North American Central Chapter of ESRAG. ESRAG, as you know, is 12 chapters around the world.
13 from last week.
13, okay, I'm sorry, what's the new one?
Brazil.
Brazil, oh, outstanding, outstanding. And so it is really exciting. So is it Ambari? Is that your name? Ambari?
She's from Singapore.
Yes, and that's the South Asia chapter, Southeast Asia chapter.
Yeah, that's me, Ambari.
Well, it's very nice to meet you this way.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, and I'd love to come to Southeast Asia, by the way, as well. So invite me.
Of course, definitely I will.
If after this presentation you think it was worth it, invite me and I'll be there.
Absolutely. I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
Oh, you're too kind. You. So the North American Central Chapter adopted the Operation Pollination framework as its own, and now it's spreading. I'm also a member of this Paths to Pollinators Rotary Network. So as Mina said, this is when the Operation Pollination Ambassadors group started out. You might recognize that person in the top left there. So we were actually, Mina, we started as 4, then we grew to 11, and now we're 46. And these are people, the Operation Pollination Ambassadors, like Mina is one, are people, around the country and around the United States and the world. We now have ambassadors in England, Scotland, Colombia, and Mexico, and hopefully it's growing. We'd love to add some Southeast Asia countries to that list, and others. But these people support this framework that I'm going to talk to you about today. So as we start the program, and I'll pepper this presentation with some quotes, but I want to start with this one. The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. And really, isn't that what we are about as environmentalists, trying to reach in communication? There's an inner circle that, you know, we surround ourselves with, and then there's the outer circle, the people who do not have this necessarily the same values as we do. But that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to reach that outer circle and show people that supporting the environment is a critical thing for us to do. But with those new eyes, we don't want to see this. You know, I know our stores look different in all parts of the world, but it's all the same. Pollinators are essential for much of the food that we eat. And with the new eyes, no one wants to see this. So pollinators provide these free ecosystem services. And I know for many of you on this Zoom today, this is some basic information, but just remember, when I give this presentation to a lot of Rotarians, they don't know any of this. This is all new to them. And it's a revelation to them. So pollinators, incredibly, they are responsible for the reproductive success of more than 85% of the world's plants. But sadly, in just the past 50 years, since 1970, pollinators have declined by more than 45% worldwide. And you've seen this in India and other parts of Asia, the pollinator decline, because this is a worldwide phenomenon. And as Rotarians, we need to be asking ourselves, what type of world are we leaving for our children and their children? Speaking of our beautiful planet, I know that you all like to take quizzes, right? No smiles? No, you don't like to take quizzes. Maybe you do. Now, I'm going to ask you one question during this presentation, and here it is. I'm about to give it to you. And the answer to that question is smack dab in the middle of this beautiful photo of our planet. What and where is this? What and where is this?
You'll have to unmute to answer.
You can hear me, Meena, right? Okay.
Can hear-
Okay, so it's probably an unfair question for me to ask you because it is from North America. Did somebody say something?
Yeah, I said Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon. No, well, it's a good guess, but not the Grand Canyon. It's in Mexico. It's Mexico. It's Mexico, right in the center of the photo. South Central Mexico. It's a mountaintop covered in oyamel fir trees at about the 10,500 foot level in Mexico. And what that orange on the trees, it looks like it's some type of disease on the trees, but it's actually this: monarch butterflies. Millions and millions of monarch butterflies. Can you imagine that?
Very good.
So in North America, and I'm sorry for being North American centric here, but that's where I'm from, so that's the experience I have. Those monarchs right now, this time of year, are in that gray dot in Mexico on the bottom of the screen. The eastern population of monarch butterflies, and there's two populations in the United States or in North America. There's an eastern population and a western population. The eastern population is east of the Rocky Mountains, which are a mountain spine that runs down North America. So the monarchs are all down in that gray area. And in less than 1 month, they're going to start their migration north. They migrate to Texas, and those monarchs that are overwintered, they reproduce. They lay their eggs on milkweed. They're very host specific. They need to find milkweed to lay their eggs, and then they die. And then their offspring migrate up north, some more, they die. Another generation migrates north, maybe even another generation. And then when they get to the northern United States and Canada, they become known as super monarchs. And rather than reproduce, they migrate all the way back to Mexico. That one tiny insect migrates anywhere from 1,500 to 3,000 miles to that mountaintop in Mexico where they've never been before. They overwinter there, and then they start the journey again in less than 3 weeks from now. So it's a phenomena. The monarch is an iconic butterfly here in North America, but it's not the only pollinator species, of course. And you know the pollinators, the bees, the wasps, the flies, the beetles, the butterflies, the moths, even some birds, sunbirds in the old world, hummingbirds in the new world, tropical bats. There's even some small reptiles and mammals that are pollinators. And in South Asia, of course, you have your striped tiger butterfly, which is very similar to the monarch, similar looking. It's in the same genus. In fact, I like to show this picture to North American audiences that I speak to, because they all say, it's a monarch, it's a monarch. And I say, no, 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 no. This is the striped tiger from South Asia. It's in the same species, as I mentioned, as the monarch. So do a little research for this presentation. I wanted to see what was happening in South Asia with pollinators. And India has a pollinator initiative, and I'm not going to focus on this too much, but I'll just breeze through some of the things I found. India has started to make these pollinator parks. Even some of your national parks are now promoting in their websites, seeing butterflies in your national parks. That's cool. That's really cool. Nepal has a pollinator network. Bhutan has, I didn't find any strategy for Bhutan, but I did see that at one of their universities, they did have a lecture on pollinators. Sri Lanka, they have an action plan on pollinators. And this is also a pollinator. Any guesses at what this might be?
Please unmute to answer.
Grasshopper?
I'm sorry, I did not hear you.
Is it a grasshopper?
Nope, nope. This is a drone. This is a drone.
Oh.
A drone. If you can believe this, and this is really, it's so hard to believe. There are some parts of the world that are already using drones to pollinate crops. That's mind-blowing as far as I'm concerned. We do not want to go down this path. We do not want to go down this path. It can truly be said, as was said before, without pollinators, humans and all terrestrial ecosystems would cease to exist. Undoubtedly, we would find a way to go on. We're a resilient species, and unless there's an asteroid that hits us and destroys life on Earth, we'll probably find a way, but it wouldn't be the same. It would not be the same. So to help address this issue, Operation Pollination was conceived and is being implemented in places around the United States and now the world. And there are the countries that have so far, and when I say countries, I mean clubs and countries that have so far embraced this initiative. So what is it? Operation Pollination is an inclusive framework that helps your Rotary Club or your Rotary District recruit a diverse array of organizational partners who want to engage in one of two goals or both: habitat restoration and education. It started in the St. Croix Valley of Minnesota and Wisconsin, where I'm speaking to you from today, when 3 government agencies that deal with land management got together and decided that we wanted to help pollinators. And instead of just going about and doing it on our own, we invited everybody and their brother to get involved, all organizations. In 2020, August of 2020, in the midst of the pandemic, ESRAG came to me, the North American Central Chapter, and said, can we adopt the Operation Pollination framework? And I was like, of course you can. It doesn't belong to anybody. Yes, you can. Please. And since August of 2020, it's really taken off. ESRAG North American Central Chapter developed this website, operationpollination.net. Got an article in the Rotary magazine that's distributed here in the United States. I can send that to you after the presentation, Mina, so you can share it with everybody. I'll send you a PDF of this presentation and also a couple of other things as well. If there's any one on this Zoom who might be interested in pursuing this. But a nice article in Rotary magazine. So what is Operation Pollination? It's 3 easy steps: a resolution, a pledge form, and you put the names of your pledge partners on the back of your resolution. So this is what a simple resolution looks like. This was done by Rotary District 6440, which is the home district just north of Chicago. This is where Rotary International headquarters is located, in Evanston, Illinois. This is the home district. This is their resolution. And it basically just states the case, states the problem. And your club or your district is now invited to sign a resolution as well. And if you do, you don't just want to sign a piece of paper and say, that's it. No, you want to actually do something. Remember, the 2 goals of Operation Pollination are habitat restoration and education. And I'm doing education right now. So you want to do something. So you would then sign a pledge. And on your pledge form, you would simple, your name, a couple of statistics, and what you're going to do. We are going to promote pollinators to our local schools. We are going to work with local businesses to see if they would plant pollinator plants. Whatever is appropriate for India or South Asia, Southeast Asia, that's what you put. Again, Operation Pollination does not prescribe what to do. It just offers you an opportunity to be part of this framework. Now, as Rotarians, I know that you are great networkers. This I know. I know that we generally also like to eat too, breakfast, lunch, or whatever. And of course, pollinators are essential for food, as we've talked about. But anyway, after you sign your own pledge, then you go about and you network and you recruit other organizations, large or small, government or non-government, for-profit or not-for-profit, to also sign a pledge form to do something. So it kind of spreads. And the nice thing about this is that every contribution is valuable. You do not have to come up with some complex project. In the United States, when I'm talking to a district or a club, I tell them, if you were to tell me that we're going to throw 3 milkweed plant seeds out of our car window as we're speeding down the highway, and hopefully those plants grow into milkweed so Monarch would have a place to lay their eggs, I'd say that's great. Put it on your pledge form. If you were to tell me that you are going to restore a meadow or a prairie here in the United States, that's even better, but there's no judgment made. So just remember that, no judgment is made. And then you put the names of your pledge partners on the back of your resolution. So a resolution, a pledge form, put the names on the back of your resolution, and go get media attention. By the way, the media loves this project or loves this framework when people come and say, we're working with other people. It's a nice feel-good story for the media. So it started in the North American Central Chapter of ESRAG. Now districts are signing it around the United States, and clubs have signed in other parts of the world. I'm waiting for a district in some part of the world to sign. I don't have a district yet, but it'll come in time. So districts, it turns out that District 6450, Paul Harris's district, was the first district to sign a resolution. That was February of last year. So we now have 9 districts that have signed. And I like to say to myself and others I speak to, Rotary has 535 districts around the world. We have so far recruited 9 districts. We have 526 districts to go. We have a lot of work to do. Don't get me wrong. We have a lot of work, but we can do it. Now, I know I won't be able to do it all myself. This I know, but because of groups like the Operation Pollination Ambassadors, we're helping to spread the word. So here is a photograph of some district governors and club presidents signing Operation Pollination resolutions. And as I said, your districts or clubs are now invited to do the same, just like Mina's club did. Thank you, Mina, for being the first in India to and South Asia to sign a pollinator resolution and a pledge. And maybe this group that I'm talking to, maybe you can be the second and third clubs to help start a South Asian trend. Who knows? Remember, this is what we want to see when we go into our grocery stores. Pollinators equals food security equals national security. Now, I just want to check to see if I accomplished my objectives from the beginning. So I just nod your head if we've gotten this point across. Pollinators are essential for life on Earth, and it is critically important to protect them. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Their numbers have declined by more than 40% in 50 years. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Therefore, the Operation Pollination framework was developed to help us protect the planet for our children and their children. Yes? Good, good. And I will leave you with this quote. By the way, that's my daughter in the slide there. She's from China. I have 2 daughters from China. We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. And that's hopefully what Operation Pollination helps people understand, their place and the importance of their place for the first time. So thank you, friends of the environment. Very nice to meet all of you. Thank you, Mina, for inviting me to this presentation. And I can't have a drink with you in person. Maybe someday we'll do it. But there is my information and the website. And I'll open it to questions.
Thanks, Chris, for a wonderful talk. May I request you to stop sharing the screens?
Yes.
So any questions, please feel free to ask.
Very interesting presentation. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Would you like to make presentation at club meetings too?
Absolutely. If you can want to invite me to a club, absolutely. By the way, I've made it my mission to speak to clubs and districts and environmental committees and ESRAG chapters. Next Monday, I'm going to ESRAG chapter on the East Coast of the North America. I've told you earlier, I'm going to Chicago 1 next week. I'm going to Wales in Great Britain the week after. So yes, by all means. And I'm very lucky. You know, I still work as a park ranger for the National Park Service, but one of my jobs is connected conservation, something we call connected conservation. And that's getting people and organizations to collaborate on conservation projects. So I'm very lucky that I can include this as part of what I do for my living. And at this rate, I don't think I'm going to retire because I can do this for the rest of my life. You know, I'm passionate about this and I can do this for the rest of my life. So why not, right?
Super.
Yes, invite me to your club.
Things I would like to ask a question is that what sort of projects, besides the signing the pledge and creating awareness, what sort of projects can be done to ensure that we have more of the insects and all which thrive in the environment?
Well, certainly, and again, Operation Pollination does not prescribe what you should do. That's up for you to decide what you want to do. Operation Pollination, again, is this framework that you hang your project on. And you can do anything that your club, your district has the energy to do. You know, certainly Mina can verify this. I know she has been planting these 2 acres, correct, Mina?
Right now, 2 acres. We're moving into pollinator meadows soon.
Yes. So, you know, that planting plants that provide nectar or places where pollinators can lay their eggs is so critical. And that is the basic project. But again, you don't have to do 2 acres like Mina is doing. You could do a little plot of land next to a grocery store.
Excuse me, if you're, I just want people to mute if they're not talking. It's background noise coming. Dinesh, could mute yourself. Dinesh?
Chris, this one.
I just have one suggestion
Sure.
here. We all have Rotary schools. You need just about 300 square feet of space. Even if you don't have it on the ground, you can try using this 5-liter Bisleri bottles as pots and grow these plants and have the pollinators there. So it can be very, very easily integrated into your happy schools.
That's a great suggestion. That's a great suggestion.
And you don't need also to put very expensive plants. You can also grow things like coriander, different spinach flowering plants. So it becomes a very easy project for clubs to do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I believe, Mina, we have to draw a piece of paper or on a short note what clubs can do, because we have to reach to every club with a short note what we have said. It's of course, it is very easy to show them the schools.
I'll create the framework and give it over.
Yeah, and which we can circulate to the clubs, which they can understand very easily.
Yes, and I will send you a nice packet of information after this presentation that Mina will send out to everyone.
That's the way.
Thank you.
I think the first thing we need to do is get our district governors to take this up as a big project and sign the pollinator pledge. Once we do that, it will filter down to the clubs.
Okay.
The only thing, Chris, what we can give to you from this presentation, till now you have got 9 districts by signed this pledge. And Ajay, should I quote any figure? We can make it double.
Sure, out of the 38 districts in India,
we can make it double what you have done till now. We'll make it double very soon.
Yeah,
if you do that, and I don't know if culturally it's appropriate for me to say this, but in the United States, me saying I'd buy you a drink would be an appropriate thing. I don't drink myself, by the way, but I'll buy you a drink or I'll buy you dinner if you do that.
Okay, done.
A wonderful opportunity is coming up, Ajay.
Yeah.
And Ramesh, why don't we get Shekhar Mehta to arrange for this pollinator pledge signing by all districts who are coming up for the RI presidential conference?
That's a good idea. That's a brilliant idea, Raj.
That is a great idea.
We'll need about only 15 minutes time in the plenary session on the environment.
Very
Let this be one of the things which we can take up in the environment session.
Wow.
Pollinator pledge by all the districts of India. We've got 41 districts. If we include Sri Lanka and Nepal, we can easily get it done.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mina, you just do us favor at you just of course I'm coming again to you. You just draw out this place and send me one copy of it. So we'll make it more and more copies, and we'll get signed at that presentation conference in person.
Wow.
We'll sign it there in person.
Sounds like a plan.
Now that is like, I mean, I don't know how to express myself appropriately to say I could die and be very happy. But
most of the people are coming to the RI convention, so dinner is on you there.
Wow.
The rest will later.
Chris,
Some
you
will
just
be,
said wow.
some will be at President Conference and some will
Yeah.
be at Houston.
So
And,
Chris
and there
just
you
said,
can
wow.
there you not have the you had the opportunity to offer us drinks and dine whatever you want.
Yeah, Chris, you can
Now-
just wow
Chris,
on
this
the
is
whole
a very
thing,
good group to talk to.
and probably, you know, what you do is arrange for a visit to your parks with you, taking us around and, you know, actually enlightening us with so much of this knowledge which you have gained by being a ranger in the parks.
I would love to do it.
Great. I'm going to take you up on that.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. Hey, I want to just tell you one other thing. You know, we're having a new, after your president, you know, retires his position in July, the new Rotary International president will be Jennifer Jones.
Yeah.
As you know, the first woman president in Rotary's history. Her marketing, communications, and environment departments have called me up, and they are thinking about spotlighting Operation Pollination for Ms. Jones. So they're keeping me in suspense. I have to tell you, this has been going on for 2 months now, and I can't can't you make a decision? Can't you make a decision? So I'm hoping that their Rotary International headquarters does spotlight this framework for Jennifer Jones. And I'm telling you, whether they do or not, if India or South Asia or Southeast Asia does what you just said, I'm sure she will take notice of that.
Absolutely. I was just going to say that. That will be a catalytic effect to do that.
Yes.
So maybe Chris,
absolutely.
visit India 29th, 30th, and 1st of May.
Sounds good to me. I'll get there one of these days. I have not been to India yet, and I would love to get there.
Hi, Chris. I have a question.
Yes.
So first of all, thank you so much for this talk. I would definitely want to invite you to, and I'm going to be speaking to my DG in the next 2 weeks' time. I think I have a meeting with her regarding an environmental event that will be organized in Singapore. So I do plan to, I'll definitely make a mention of this, and I'll try to organize a talk where all the districts, all the clubs from the 3 countries that are included in our district, which are Singapore, Malaysia, and Brunei. Clubs from all these countries can come and join. I'm going to be in touch with you with about that. But I have a different question. So as you say, pollinators, like there are different types of pollinators, right? Bees and whatever, you name them one after another. But my question is that sometimes these pollinators, right, they do not coexist naturally. Like they might be, they cannot coexist. Like for example, if there is no natural symbiotic relationship between two species of pollinators, let's say, I'm not able to cite an example because nothing is coming to my mind right now. It's 12 o'clock in the midnight, 12 o'clock here. But if there are, how do we know that we are planting the right kind of plants where one pollinator is not attacking another pollinator and then causing species loss or something? How do we know that we are doing it at par with how nature would like these pollinators to exist? How do we know that? Because we are actually creating something that is not natural because we are planting them. So that is not like natural rewilding. So that's my question. I'm not sure if I've been able to put across my query properly.
Yes. And Amber, I want to tell you, I'm having a little hard time hearing you on my end, but that's okay. I think I got, yes, Nina.
Basically, you go for native plants and you get the native pollinators.
Yeah,
Do not
exactly.
go for invasives or don't go for anything exotic. That's the basic rule that you follow.
Yes, that is the basic rule. And
I think she was.
I don't know if you have this where you are, but here in the United States, the National Wildlife Federation has actually developed a website where you can type in the zip code where you live, and up will pop the native plants that you should plant in your zip code. I don't know if that has happened there in Asia yet.
It has.
Yes,
Asia
it
has
has.
got very good this thing for. There are sites, especially because butterflies are something people know. So you have lists of host plants, lists of butterflies found in different areas. It's actually quite. It's almost like a cookie cutter, this thing, depending on which area you are.
That's wonderful to know. And you also have your local universities. Certainly in Singapore, you would have some pollinator experts at your local universities. You could consult with them. And as Mina said, try to plant native plants because your pollinators in Asia are very host specific to your plants from Asia. Just like here in North America, our pollinators are host specific to their plants, like the monarch with the milkweed. You have similar examples over there. So try to plant the native plants as Mina suggested.
Thank you.
Yes. It has really been a delight coming to speak to you today. And as I said, Mina and all of you, I will put together a little package of information that Mina will share, and that will have a resolution in it, an example of a pledge form. Now, you modify these based on your need. You don't, what is in what I'm going to send you, that doesn't, there's nothing, this is all non-binding, by the way. There's nothing legal about it. You put what you want in there. If something in the resolution or the pledge does not resonate with you, just take it out. Put in something that resonates with you. The objective here is to get people interested in helping this global environmental crisis. And I want to thank you for some of the suggestions that you have all made today. I am going to be tracking this very closely with my friend Mina there, and my new friends, all of you. And someday I will see you in India. And certainly if you were to come here, you come see me too.
Mina, will Chris permit me just one last question?
Of course. Of course.
There was a very interesting picture of a drone of a bee.
Yes.
Okay. Is it a practical thing?
Is that a practical thing? That photograph.
And what kind of coverage does it do?
No, what I took that photograph from the Wall Street Journal. I saw in a Wall Street Journal back in August, I think it was. The drones that are currently used are more machine looking. They're in greenhouses and that was just the photograph that they used in the Wall Street Journal. That's not practical at all, I don't think.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
I'll put that together for India in terms of pollinator parks with the thing, and we'll take it forward. As Ajayji says, we'll try to push it at the RIPC, and we'll see where that takes us. But I think there are a lot of people coming to Houston, Chris. Time for you to start getting your credit cards ready.
Yes. I will be, ESRAG will have a virtual booth, and I will be staffing the pollinator booth in the ESRAG. So that's where you'll find me. The United States government, who I work for, still has not let us travel because of the pandemic. But I just want to end by thanking Mina for her incredible work as the chapter chair, and Ajay, congratulations as you begin your journey. And really, Mina, thank you so much for inviting me to speak to you today. Really, really, thank you.
Thank
You
you
have
so
a good
much.
day.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks a lot. Very interesting.
Bye-bye.
Very interesting.
Rameshji, will you?
Yeah. I just wanted to tell you, Chris, that it's already in our program. Ajay has told you about the awareness. No, star. Chris, I think Chris has left. Anyway, but I just want to share amongst all us that we are already on this job to awareness program under this awareness. So this pledge is also a part of awareness. I don't know whether how it will work. If we will able to sign it pledge even by 20, 30 districts, and if half of that is working seriously, our job will be good.
Absolutely.
So
all
I
we
think
have
Meera, you just
all we have to
take
do is
it-
club it with your happy schools. It'll be
yes,
done.
you just take it from Chris and just redraft it suitable to our.
I'll
mission.
send a copy of the
Yes.
pledge that we've
Then
done.
we'll try to get it signed by the current district governors also and the incoming governors. We'll try to sign it as both of the governors, so it will go for the 2 years at least.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then we'll send it to the clubs. But Meera, thanks to you for bringing Chris and for a
very important
wonderful
subject.
knowledge.
Easy to do it.
And this is the things what Rotary can do it, because Rotary can't do such big things. But these are the smaller things which Rotary can easily do with our clubs under the head of awareness. So awareness has got so many things. So this is one of the best awareness we can draw up amongst our schools, our youth, college, society, and this is the best
There are
thing.
already 4 butterfly parks by Rotary clubs, one in Pune, one in Mysore, one in my club here, and one more in our district. So it's pretty
There's
easy.
one more. There's one more in our district also, or rather our neighboring district. Yeah.
Okay.
3142 has got one at Dombivli.
Okay,
Exactly.
560. Make those clubs sign the pollinator pledge immediately.
No, we do that.
Is there any climate restrictions on for these parks? I mean,
No, there isn't. You will only be using native plants of that area.
Absolutely.
So it's not, there's no this thing. The only thing is you won't see all the butterflies everywhere. You'll see some what is available in your area. In India, if you want to get the list of host plants and the butterflies, the website is called I Found Butterfly.
Okay.
In fact, just to tell you all that where the largest statue of the world is, the Statue of Unity, in that zone also they have created a butterfly park there. The government has created a very nice butterfly park. I visited that. So it's just that the awareness is there. So I'm hoping that it'll multiply and we can have many more such parks across the world.
The idea is not having a large park, having small parks within 1 kilometer distance.
Sure.
So actually your houses, your terraces can become parks.
Absolutely.
If you're living in apartments, your balconies can become parks. So it's not something that is restricted to just people who have land.
Yeah.
True. Even the kitchen garden at the backyard also.
You don't need very expensive plants. You know, the arc plant, if you have the arc plant, you can pick it up from some side of the road and plant it or get it. This thing, you'll have most of the butterflies coming to it because a lot of them use it for nectar and the striped tiger uses it for a host. Then for mooli, you can get mooli seeds and put it in a pot. That itself is enough. Similarly, coriander seeds, methi, any kind of spinach that will flower. All these are good plants to have. So it's not very expensive to do it in happy schools. And you don't need too much land.
Good.
Sounds good.
Sure. So that's I think, Ajay, all for today.
Yep.
Is it so? So thanks for everyone. And
thanks to Chris.
Look forward for coming again very soon. And pass on our thanks to Chris, Meera, and thank you to all you also.
Thank you very much and good night.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Yeah.
Good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.